Hello everyone, this is Marshall Gittler, Head of Investment Research here at FXPRIMUS, bringing you the schedule of events for the week beginning Monday, April 18th. It's a relatively sparse week without many central bank speakers or major indicators. Thursday and Friday are the big days. The early part of the week will probably be dominated by events in the oil market, following Sunday's meeting of some members of OPEC with other oil producers, notably Russia. As you know, they failed to reach any agreement at all, and the meeting broke up in disarray. That probably means a risk-off attitude that's bad for the commodity currencies, particularly the Canadian dollar, and good for the safe haven yen and Swiss franc. The other highlight of the week is on Thursday, when the ECB holds its April meeting. It's only been a month since they announced an extensive set of new measures, and ECB President Draghi said, "We don't anticipate that it will be necessary to reduce rates further." Conditions in the EU haven't worsened enough by any means to necessitate further action. Nonetheless, the markets will want to hear some measure of support from Draghi. Now, the euro often weakens in the run-up to ECB meetings, and so far, this time has been no exception. There could be some bounce back following the meeting if Draghi just reaffirms his previous stance. As for the European indicators, Tuesday we get the ZEW survey. Both the current situations and expectations indices are expected to rise, which could be positive for the euro. And on Friday, we get the preliminary purchasing managers indices for France, Germany, and the EU as a whole. They're expected to be better, or at least stable, across the board. Good news for Europe and the euro. As for the US, there are 3 Fed speakers today, after which they aren't allowed to speak at all until 2 days after the April 26th, 27th FOMC meetings. So, after today, we won't have any more Fed speakers until April 29th. In the run-up to the meeting, the market will focus on the data. There's a lot of housing data out of the U.S., which is expected to be generally favorable. The National Association of Home Builders Index today, housing starts and building permits on Tuesday, and existing home sales on Wednesday. As for the rest of the economy, the Chicago and Philly Fed indices plus leading index are out on Thursday, and the market manufacturing PMI on Friday. The Philly Fed survey is expected to decline, but the wider market manufacturing PMI is expected to improve. There are several important events in the UK this week. Bank of England Governor Carney speaks in Parliament on Tuesday, the employment data comes out on Wednesday, and retail sales on Thursday. It'll be interesting to hear if Governor Carney has anything to say about the recent rise in inflation and inflation expectations. Meanwhile, average earnings are expected to continue to accelerate, and retail sales are expected to be a bit better, although still negative month on month. These indicators could keep the pound's recent recovery going. Canada will be in focus as investors watch the oil market's gyrations following Sunday's meeting. Now, Bank of Canada Governor Poloz and Senior Deputy Governor Wilkins will speak twice during the week, perhaps giving more insight into last week's Bank of Canada meeting. Retail sales and CPI come out on Friday. Both are expected to be weak, which may further hit the Canadian dollar. The minutes from the April RBA meeting, a Reserve Bank of Australia meeting, come out on Tuesday, and then later in the day, RBA Governor Stevens speaks in New York. The April RBA meeting wasn't particularly exciting, and the minutes aren't likely to hold many surprises. This is Marshall Gittler, Head of Investment Research at FXPRIMUS. Get more market insights on our education pages and turn your trading ideas into action with FXPRIMUS, the safest place to trade.